Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. So today I'm playing Towns, which is another game in alpha, um, and it's a bit difficult to get into at the beginning. So I've decided to make this short tutorial video to kind of survive your first few days in the game. So it's completely procedurally generated, like most other new games. So I'm just going to start with a brand new game on a normal map, and you have to put in a save game, so I'm just going to call this Save 2 because it's my second game that I'm playing. So once it's generated all the map, you then get the game. There we go. So first thing to do, you can pause the game with the spacebar, and probably the first thing I recommend doing is changing the speed, because it probably starts on the speed 3, which is really fast, and it's really easy to get people dead because of this. So whack the speed down a bit. So your messages are up here. Game speed 1 is more than enough. Hero messages you won't get until you have some heroes. Combat messages hopefully you won't see, and announcements are announcements. So here are your citizens. Huzzah. I have a lot of old men, it seems. Soldiers we'll come to in a bit. So here is the world. What we got about? Okay. You can use your scroll wheel to move up and down layers. This becomes increasingly more important as we go through. First and probably the most essential thing is wood. You need wood. So as we have some wood, some trees just lying around, we will harvest them. Actually, no, we will chop them. All you do, you click, highlight the area you want to chop, and then it selects it for you. Then you can unpause, and your people will go and chop things down. Yeah. There's not much in the way of animation. In fact, very little in the way of animation. But that's okay, because it's an early alpha. Once you've chopped down the trees, you can start building things. So I'm going to immediately go into zones and build a carpentry. Now you don't need to enclose these, but they work better enclosed. I'm also going to build a masonry, and I'm going to put that next door to it. 4x4 seems a pretty good size. You can do 3x3 if you wish. It doesn't really make that much of a difference. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with mining this stone. Now you can use the hotkeys, or just click on the stuff that you want to do. So there's my mine. So we now have wood and stone. With this we can start building the tools we will need to survive. So if you go into utilities on the right hand side menu, you can start putting down things that your people can use. So carpenter's bench needs 2 wood, which we have, so let's make one of those, stick it in the right room, and then one of your people will start making it. Huzzah. We'll need a wood detailer as well, and that needs stone, which these guys can nab. And we'll also make a mason's bench, so we can start doing that. A lot of things need iron. Iron is a real pain to get, at least at the beginning of the game. The game I've currently been playing, it took me a very long time to actually find iron. So now that the carpenter's bench is made, I can make the wood detailer and the mason's bench. I jumped ahead of the game a little there. Okay, so we have to do it in order. So what we'll do is, while these guys are just wandering around, we'll get some more stone. It seems to be if you mine the area underneath, the stone will drop down onto the one below and you will lose anything that you could have got. So especially at this stage, you need to be quite conservative with what you do. Goblins, damn. I was hoping these guys wouldn't be this close. So it's pretty much essential to get your people decent weapons as fast as possible, because these guys will just annihilate your guys. So up the speed a little bit. Okay, so now we have a wood detailer. We can make the mason's bench. We'll up the speed a bit. And once the mason's bench is made, we can start making weapons, which is really essential. We've got 3 more stone up there, 2 more stone up there. So while these guys are doing this, one of the most annoying parts of the game so far is figuring out what layer you're supposed to be on to mine things. So that's not perfect, but there we go. So now that we have the mason's bench, we can start making weapons. So on the left-hand menu, you can automate food, wood, etc. So what we're going to do, go into militaries, weapons, stone weapons, and build some stone maces. The stone maces seem rather good. So we have 11 peeps, so let's make 11 weapons. Your left hand menu just makes kind of one shots. If you want to automate them, the right hand menu is the one you want. So if I wanted to make 5 and always have a minimum of 5, that's what you use for that side. And then we'll start making them. So it needs 2 stone and 1 wood. And then we can start worrying about food, which, as you can imagine, is also essential. So while we make some weapons, we'll chop down some more trees. Go. And you may have noticed pine tree bushes floating around. You can plant these and use them to basically have a never-ending supply of wood, which is very, very useful. But for now, we will not worry about this because food is a bit more important. So while we're making some weapons, let's get some food on the go. In order to make, say, bread, you need to have a new zone. Where are we? It's not the kitchen. It's the bakery. There we go. So I'm going to build the bakery up here. Again, I'm going to make it 4x4. You need a baker's oven, which needs stone. And you also need the baker's table, which needs wood. With that, you can start making bread. In order to do this, though, we need wheat. Luckily, there's a little bit of wheat around, so we'll start by tilling the ground. So I'm going to make 3. And then you can start planting. So I'm going to plant wheat. Once these guys have done this, whenever you're ready, guys. Okay, so now these guys have done, we'll plant some wheat. There we go. And then they will find some wheat once we harvest it. So we'll harvest that one and these two. As you can see, we now have a couple of stone maces. Once these guys have done harvesting, okay, he's getting incredibly close. So it's probably best to give some people some weapons. Okay, so we have a couple of people with weapons. As you can see, we can now start growing some wheat, which is wonderful. So, if one of you could pick up one of these maces, that would be great. Okay. So, as he's getting really close, what we're going to do is make some soldiers. So these three people who have actually got weapons, we'll convert them to soldiers. And now they're actually soldiers. Once you're there, you can assign them to a group. So I'm going to assign them all to group 1. And then you can start doing fun things like giving them patrol points. So once you have a team of soldiers, or a squad of soldiers I should say, you can start bossing them around. So here's a bit of a fight. So if we set it to a patrol group, that's what I forgot to do, you can add patrol points and your squad will go there and then start fighting. There we go. Yeah. So the first froggy is down, which is useful. You can remove control points, same way that you add them. So far we have everyone and nobody's dead. Which is better than my first game where I'd already lost 2 or 3 people by this stage. Ooh. So some weapons come up as kind of special weapons. So we've got the stone mace of the turtle, which causes more damage, gives more hit points, has better attack, better defense. Basically, it's better. So we'll add all those. Okay, so now that we've got some wheat on the way, it's time to actually make it so people will collect it. You can go into the automation, food, gathering, trees and plants, wheat. So I'm going to set that to 10. And you can start doing full queues. So if you're harvesting wheat, it's probably a good idea to make flour. If you're making flour, it's probably a good idea to bake bread. All that needs is flour. And then it's probably a good idea to actually make the utilities you need. So we need a baker's table, and we also need, oh, someone's dead. That's okay. We also need a baker's oven. How are we doing for stone? So we're out of stone, so let's mine some more. There's a lot of froggies about. Okay, so once wheat grows, we'll start making bread. Because food is important. If you go into your citizens panel, you have turns to eat and turns to sleep. They can sleep anywhere. They will sleep outside. Eating, however, they actually need food. So what we can do while we wait is we can make stockpiles. Stockpiles are really, really useful. You can make them for pretty much anything. So we'll make a stockpile for prepared foods, so food that you can just take and eat. We'll make a fairly small stockpile because I don't want too much. And then, as you can see, we've got apple trees and pear trees, which if we harvest, they will get the apples and pears and plonk them in the prepared food, so our villagers don't have to run over here and maybe get killed by froggies. So we've still got some maces going on. So we'll keep adding maces to people as we go. As we don't really need the soldiers right now, I'll convert them back to citizens, especially at this level when you've only got 11 people. It's useful to have a bit more assistance with harvesting and making things. Okay, so we have some food. We have a fair amount of food. Probably not enough for 11 people right now. So wood, as you'd imagine, is incredibly important. So what we're going to do is make a little area for the pine trees. I like to give them space in between. So there's 6 bushes about, so we'll make 6 tilling. Okay, there's a fight going on somewhere, but I don't know where. Oh dear. Okay, so we've got people far too far out. So we'll add these people back to group 1. And now that group 1 is on patrol group, we can just right click a patrol group and our fighters will go over there because he's getting his ass kicked. Right guys. Oh, he's gonna die. They're attacking the wrong person. He's dead. Any second now. Yep, he's dead. Very sad. So they arrived too late. So already I've lost a civilian. However, kind of useful because I can now go into decorative, go to graves and tombs, and make him a grave. So I'm going to make my graves over here. Okay, so we need more stone as we're out again, but that's okay because we can now actually just mine this whole area. So we've been told they're dead. Combat messages are useful for finding out what's going on around the world. Let's get some vengeance. bring these guys back over here for now. So we'll convert these guys back to civilians. Stink clouds start appearing from dead bodies. I'm not entirely sure what they do. I'm going to guess they're not great. But if you right click on anything, you can and destroy things. So we'll destroy. Oh, I didn't mean to click that one. Oh well. Destroy the stink clouds. I accidentally destroyed the human corpse, so I might as well cancel the order for the gravestone because it's a bit pointless now. How are we doing over here? So now that we have tilled area, we can go back into planting and we can plant pine trees. And then our guys will grab these bushes. Where are you going? And there we go, and then they will start to grow into pine trees. So we can go back into automation. I always forget where this one is. Materials, there we go. Planted trees, planted pine trees. We've got pine trees, so we'll set the stock to 10. Standard trees will stick up to 10 as well. However, wood is just wood. So once there's 10 chopped normal trees, they won't chop pine trees either. So we now have basically an infinite supply of wood. We have basic food set up, and we have weapons for everybody. So we have a basic setup now. So that's it for this first tutorial video. I hope this has been useful. Next time we'll actually look at building up some buildings around here, and carry on from there. Thank you for watching.